All right, so let's begin with the tier list predictor of cheating. This is what these are the predictors that the person that you're with might cheat on you. And some of these predictors are predictors, but some of them are weak predictors. So the ones that legit like indicate that they're going to cheat 100%. In fact, if you see this, walk away, is S tier type of shit. And the tier that the person may not cheat on you, but yeah, you don't put much thought to it, but yeah, it's D tier. And let me start off with the one that I think is not as important as sorry people. Let's start off with the one that I think is not as important as people think. And that's pretty much your culture. Where is this right here, right? Cultural norms. Just because, like I tell women, if you're dating a Jamaican guy, that don't mean he's gonna cheat on you. Right? If you're dating a Puerto Rican girl, that don't mean she's gonna stab you. You see what I mean? Like if she's from Dubai, that don't mean she be doing crazy shit, right? But if they're from a culture that's known for cheating, I would be aware. For example, me, I usually don't date Colombian women because they scare the shit out of me they're known to drug men, right? But that doesn't mean I'm not gonna date a Colombian woman. But if I go out with her, part of me is gonna say, be careful. But I'm still gonna go out with them. Is that type of stuff? It's like it's a type of stereotypes that you can't judge everyone by, right? It's like prejudice. You can't be prejudiced just because this person's group is associated with this. That don't mean he's gonna do that. But you also have to consider that that's a fact. You get what I mean? It's like I tell women, just because he's Jamaican, don't mean he's gonna cheat. But if he's Jamaican, keep an eye out. Next one is let's go with family history. Actually, a person's family is a big predictor of whether or not they're going to cheat. If his mom cheated on his dad on his wife, most likely she's going to cheat on you. If he cheated on if his dad cheated on his wife, most likely that if you're dating a guy, he's going to cheat on you too. It's one of those things. If the family cheats, most likely he's going to cheat. If the family do drugs, most likely he might do drugs. That's just how people are. So look at the family history. And that's why I'm putting family history in A tier. Because it's not always the truth, but a lot of the times it is. The next thing that leads to cheating 100% is previous infidelity, S tier. If the person cheated on you in the past, they're going to cheat on you again. If the person cheated on someone in the past, they're going to it's much easier to repeat a behavior you've done once than a behavior you've never done before. Once the person cheats once, they'll get a taste for it, and the next time they're thinking about cheating, they have an easier time cheating. Next one is opportunity to cheat. Is S tier. This person may never have ever cheated on someone, but because the opportunity presented itself, they'll cheat. Literally. Because the opportunity presented itself, they'll cheat. That's why God says, don't, like he says, he doesn't want you to resist temptation. He wants you to avoid temptation altogether. Because it's not about resisting it, because a lot of times we can't resist. It's literally about not letting the desire arise by literally avoiding putting yourself in a position to cheat. So for example, if I'm dating a girl and one of her jobs is to hang out with dudes all the time, even though I trust you, because you're in so many situations where maybe you're drinking with them, you're creating too many opportunities to cheat, even though you may not. Because of the law of opportunity, I would be suspicious. Next thing is low self-esteem. Just because somebody has low self-esteem, that don't mean they're going to cheat on you. But also, because some people have different coping mechanisms. Some people cope with their self-esteem by putting you down. Or some people cope with their self-esteem by becoming better artists. Some people cope with their self-esteem by trying to get everyone to like them. So because of that, we can't assume that not everyone cheats. Not every person with low self-esteem cheats. Look at Homer Simpson. He never cheated on his wife, and he has low self-esteem. He's an alcoholic. So because of that, we're putting it in B tier because it might lead to cheating, but it doesn't. In fact, we're putting it in C tier because just because somebody has low self-esteem, that they may find self-esteem in your validation and your validation alone. That don't mean they have a high self-esteem, but that they're redirecting their low self-esteem in a proper way. Next one is boredom. And this happens a lot. In fact, we're putting boredom in A tier because when you're bored in a relationship, a lot of people start to have wandering eyes. Boredom does that to people. And it's almost like having the opportunity to cheat, where if somebody usually wouldn't cheat, they'll cheat. But sometimes sometimes when you're bored, you're not in a situations where you cheat. So it's kind of you could snap out of it, realize what was happening, and try to fix it. So because of that, just because somebody's bored, I don't mean they'll cheat. But if they're bored in the relationship and the opportunity to cheat arises, yeah, they'll cheat. But we can't say boredom might lead to 100% cheating, so we don't put that there. Next one is personality trait, 100% S tier. If they have the personality trait of a narcissist, they'll cheat. Psychopath, they'll cheat. Sociopath, they'll cheat. If they have the type of personality that's naturally rebellious, that loves to break rules, what the fuck? If they struggle, if they hate rules, what the hell you think they're going to do with the rules that you guys set? Personality type and personality trait a lot of the times predicts cheating. Next one is life transition. And life transition, we're putting it in A tier because life transition, sometimes you might be transitioning into something good. And so a lot of people will sabotage themselves by cheating, or they're transitioning into something boring that they feel trapped. And so they'll cheat to deal with the sensation of being trapped. Be careful during transition moments when you guys are going from boyfriend to girlfriend to boyfriend to engaged to marriage, from not living together to living together. A lot of the times cheating happens in those moments because they panic. Substance abuse. We can't say that because not every drug leads to cheating. Like if they do weed, doesn't mean they'll cheat. If they do cocaine, it might lead them to cheat, but it's not, we can't assume. What happens is that their decision making gets torn into shit. So because of that, when they start to use more substance, their decision making lowers, their capacity to control their impulses lower, and so it might lead to cheating. But just because somebody uses drug, that don't mean they'll cheat. But if they use a certain kind of drug, it might lead to cheating. So substance abusers cheat, in my opinion, will lead to cheating more than people with low self-esteem, because people who do substance abusers, almost all of them have low self-esteem, but not everyone who has low self-esteem uses drugs. But the changes in your brain because of substance abuse, depending on the drug, can lead to cheating. It creates an environment where your morality lowers, and it creates a space to cheat. So because of that, we can't assume, though, that all of them cheat. So we're putting it in B tier because of that. Next one is sexual dissatisfaction. A tier. If somebody's not satisfied sexually in a relationship, it actually is one of those predictors that lead to cheating. But a lot of relationships morph into a friendship that's sexless. That does happen. And they're actually satisfied with it. So because of that, we're putting that in A tier. Next one is when people settle. And this is where people will be together for many years and they'll cheat after a few years. When people settle, there's a high likelihood for cheating. But again, not everyone cheats. Just because somebody's settled, that don't mean they're going to cheat. Nah, they're eventually going to cheat. We're putting this in S tier because eventually you may feel like you're settling and you're okay with it now, but that emotion snowballs into something larger over time. Friends who cheat. If they have friends who cheat, cheating is a learned behavior. So it's kind of like family. Their family cheats, they might cheat, but because it doesn't have as much influence as their family, we put it in B tier. It's not, doesn't predict it, but if all of her friends are strippers, come on, bro. If all of his friends are fuckboys, come on, girl. Next one is power tripping. The more power somebody gets, the higher likelihood they are to cheat. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So we put in that in S tier. That also means if I'm dating a woman and she has a lot of power, she might cheat. She might bang her coworkers because he's young and hot. Like a lot of female bosses do that, like, which is surprising because you wouldn't think that, but it does. Attachment styles. Attachment styles is A tier. In fact, yeah, A tier because not all anxious attachment styles cheat, not all avoidance cheat, but an avoidant has a higher likelihood of cheating just because of just how emotionally distant they are from their partners. If you date an avoidant, they'll be really good at hiding cheating, but not all avoidants cheat. Honestly, so because of that, we're putting that in B tier. Last one is mental health issues, psychosis, narcissism, ADHD, anything that affects your ability to control your impulses. For example, I'll say this, and this is bad. If I date a girl and she's bipolar, I swear to God, there's a high likelihood she might cheat. It's just how that is, man. If someone who has ADHD, they have a high likelihood of cheating. But we can't judge everyone with mental health issues and say they're going to cheat. I'm just saying that if you date someone who has, unfortunately, a mental health issue that relates to controlling their impulses, I mean, let's move this right here, people. Especially ones that leads to that they have to control their impulses. We're gonna put this one in B tier once again, because just because somebody has mental health issues, that don't mean they'll cheat. But if it's something that you just want to be aware of, okay? Anyways, let me know what other tier lists y'all want me to do, and I'll do that in the next video, okay? Take care.